Welcome, lords and ladies of fate. In this stream, we play various tabletop role-playing games, as you, the audience, earn fate chips that can be used to reward or punish your favorite players or their characters. You can earn fate chips by following, hosting, watching, subscribing, or just contributing to the game. You can then use those fate chips to heal characters, adjust their next skill checks, force them to say silly lines, or just wreak havoc on the story. Tonight, we're playing Star Trek Adventures. Before we begin, I want to award somebody from chat to whomever can tell us what was in the crate that Bajor discovered at the end of last week's episode. What was in the crate? But while we're waiting for that answer, these are the voyages of the Starship Norway. Its 5-day mission to explore the appearance of the long-lost Kitty Hawk. Our crew consists of Captain Roland Sykes, being played by Armand. Commander Bal Chthorthus, being played by Nat, myself.
Can't even say your own name.
Then we've got Lieutenant Commander Sivek. Sorry, I always pronounce it incorrectly. Being played by Good Devil. And Lieutenant Commander Bajor Burkazin, being played by Rockosaurus Rex. Tonight we'll be without our Chief Medical Officer, Aria Burks, as she's not feeling well this evening. So, and to mediate the will of the fates this voyage is Wayne, our very own Q.
Hello, everyone. Well, I hope have we a guess of your puny minds comprehended? Box, what's in the box?
Let's see what was in the box.
There's crickets, man. It's
Oh no,
crickets.
we've got one. I think we've got the right answer too.
What is?
Well, if we're going by what Miss Atlas here says in the chat, it is booze with an exclamation point.
We
Ding,
will
ding,
accept.
ding, ding.
We will accept booze or space booze. I believe space booze was also a thing.
I will give you a bonus 150 fate chips, Atlas, if you could tell me the actual type of booze that was in that crate.
Well, I'm gonna say I don't believe that was ever stuff.
Oh, well,
It was.
I think it was.
It was.
What?
Yes.
What did I? What? No.
She says don't push it, so I
Don't push it. I'm going to have to say, there's only so many kinds of booze it could be in Star Trek.
Was
Yes.
it Andorian ale?
That's what
Yes.
I thought was.
I was
I
under
thought
the
it was-
impression that it was Romulan.
Romulan.
Right.
Sorry. Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was Romulan ale as
Yes,
well.
because we're on a no. Yes, because obviously the logic applies only to your character and not to the player. You're on a ship full of apparently Romulans.
Oh.
And what are the only boozes? There's wine, there's whiskey, and then
Synthahol.
there's synthahol, whatever that is, which I think is
Duels.
it's the making love in a canoe version of beer. And then of course there's Romulan ale, which I think only we don't have any trivia, but Romulan ale was the term first used in what Star Trek TV show or movie? It was named. It's a named.
I can't even.
I want to say it was one of the movies.
The Voyage Home.
Yes. It was
Wow.
from Dr. McCoy,
Whoa.
Captain Kirk. We had seen various blue liquids on the show, as well as collections of the finest Play-Doh that the Federation had to offer. But only in the movies was it named, because only in the movies were they allowed to drink alcoholic beverages.
Oh,
They
makes
did.
sense.
They did, however, name Saurian brandy in TOS directly. Anyway, what?
Man among your gods. This is so impressive. This is great.
Just so you know, I just threw out a guess. I had a list of the names of the movies, and I just threw a mental dart and hit one.
You could have done far worse. You could have been the fan dance. What was the three-breasted cat woman drinking at the bar? Under 3. No, so there you go. That was a bit of trivia, and I just not to flex. I think you mortals call it, but just to let you know, you're in good, safe hands if there comes to be a canon question.
Especially about alcohol.
So, especially about alcohol.
Yeah.
I'm drinking something that has a mustache on it, so we'll see. We'll see how deep in the closet it is. It should have a beard, like Picard wine. It's a beard. So I'm going to bring us back to where we were. Let me see, where am I? Being omnipotent, having to deal with simple manual controls is just so difficult and hard below me.
Very taxing.
Very taxing. Very taxing to downshift.
I don't wanna sound like a Kirk kind of captain or anything, but Lieutenant Gemma, she looks kind of nice.
So we have, so this was the cover screen. As you will recall, last week we had a discovery of space booze. I believe there was, I don't know, Mr. Bajor did, how many bottles? Space burps. How many bottles recovered that you want to report to your captain? How many reported bottles were there?
I don't recall how many there were to begin with.
How many did you nick?
Less than 7.
Yes. So there were 7 bottles.
Yes.
Yes. So we have that, and now we have when we left the captain and the engineer and the leader of what was left of the Kitty Hawk's crew were working diligently in the main navigational deflector area to stabilize the rift on the bridge of the Thunderwing. Ball and Kurith were having a moment as outside observers to humanity and their place in the greater cosmos. And the security officer and chief medical officer happened to make a discovery of Simon Gordo, that shifty parasite, yeeting things into the airlock, I believe is the term from 2 years ago. You stopped him before he could yeet another crate into space. And this is who would want their scene picked up?
I believe when we left off, I believe the cliffhanger was with the engineer.
For they were about to stabilize the wormhole, engineer?
I believe so.
What were we doing, engineer?
We go into hall and fix the thing that is broken to make us
Okay. As you can see, the navigational deflector is beginning to charge with Phaleron particles, because that's just the kind of thing they do. To you, they seem to actually cause your toes to itch as you get near them. The captain is unaffected by this. This seems to be a very civic situation where your feet are itching. Do you want to let the captain? Yes, go ahead.
Sivek, is everything all right?
Everything is nominal, Captain.
All right, you look really uncomfortable. I just wanted to make sure, with everything that's going on with you this past day, I'm really concerned for your safety.
An irrelevant concern.
Okay.
Oh, like a master and his beloved pet, my heart breaks. if I had one. So, at your discretion, I believe you have prepared the jolt that will hold the wound in space-time open. And I believe that the first officer has shared the fact that there's an active transporter lock coming through the rift that was used to that can be used to hold things open.
That the captain seemed oddly familiar with.
Well, the captain, if you remember, the captain did tell the transporter chief to maintain a lock at all times and beam us out the moment there was something wrong.
1 out of 2 ain't bad.
Right, yeah.
However, that would have been another unfortunate issue with it, Ensign Alpo. And had I retconned it, I believe the transporter effect would have taken care of it instead of the unkind ministrations of his immediate commanding officer. Let me try and do CPR on what's left of his rotting his powdered corpse.
Am I doing this right?
Yes, I believe,
Pretty sure it was something like this.
Yes, I believe Tucker was. I believe it just went right on through. I believe, yes, Tucker seemed to have done an outstanding job of keeping a log, unlike that really layabout Jenkins that is still at the star base.
God damn it, Jenkins.
Sick and unable to figure out how a transporter lock works.
He's probably just now finished using the lavatory, like right now.
If he didn't mistake it for the escape pod.
Okay.
Yes?
I'm going to speak out. I still have a note to reprimand him as soon as I can.
I also have that note written down.
Grudges.
Yeah.
How dare you treat the Admiral of the Sector's favorite nephew that way? So anyway, we'll save that we'll just tuck that away in our little sleeve and just put that there. So, you are preparing to launch a string of Thalaron particles toward the rift to stabilize, or to the wound to stabilize it.
Mhm.
And it's up to you guys to do it. It would be an engineering and control roll, and it would be a difficulty level 2.
I'm assuming I'm assisting, so I only get the 1 die.
You get the 1 die, and
Engineering and control.
yes, unless you have something else that you might deem more.
Control. Control.
It's difficulty level 2, so you guys should storm this pretty heavily.
Mm-hmm.
My target's 12.
Okay.
And I got a 17, so I'm no help. I do the typical captain thing where he's just kind of like leaning in over Sivek's shoulder. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Steve,
Captain.
how are we? Yes.
Captain, I find the humidity on my neck most displeasing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just very, very excited to get this. Do you think with that transporter lock, once we get this stabled, we can open up a comms channel?
If Lieutenant Tucker maintained his position, then we should be fine, Captain.
Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. One step at a time, Sivek. Let's.
There is a thing called creating a condition. I will tell you about that in a minute.
I like learning.
So, I am going to use one of our momentum to purchase a extra die.
Okay.
Oh.
He bought a 20 with that extra die, didn't he?
It's
Are you using engineering bold or cautious by any chance?
I'm so sorry. What?
Do you have, I forget your skills, sir, but do you have a special talent called engineering cautious or bold? Engineering cautious or bold on your character sheet. Oh, you're looking. You're not sort of just. No, his screen's frozen.
Nope,
No,
he's
no.
looking. He's just
No.
looking like a Vulcan, very, very still.
Show off the makeup. It should be under your talent list.
Okay. No, but what I do have is Miracle Worker.
Okay. Does it have a description on it? What it would be?
Yes. You have a reputation for doing the impossible. Repairs or modifications well in advance of expectation. Getting offline systems up and running when most needed, and so on. Whenever you use engineering on an extended task, if you achieve a breakthrough and roll at least one effect on the challenge die, you achieve a second breakthrough.
Okay. We did not give you an extended task. However, we will keep that in mind. I believe that would have come in handy with the pylons, reinforcing the struts. But that's okay. So how did your dice go for your threefer?
Regardless, I have rolled 2 successes and 1 fail, a 5, a 10, and a 16.
All right. So you did stabilize and you fight what?
Apologies. 3 successes.
You should have more than a 14, right? 16?
Target of a 17. My apologies.
Good. So you have 3 successes. That banks 1. And there's a thing, which we will discuss. So a bluish, because they're all bluish in this era, a bluish beam lashes out from the ship, and it floods this wound, which was a bit amorphous, and it begins to stabilize into a dynamic matrix that you recognize as a stable set of subspace. So you do have now a you've stabilized the channel for transit, and I believe the captain wanted to do something called create an advantage, where you can say, well, I'd really like it if we had a communications channel open to our to the ship, correct?
Absolutely.
So what has happened is you've stabilized the channel, so that's a requirement. The XO has found found the signal to home in on in the beginning and plot a course. And so if you wish to spend 2 momentum to create a stable comms channel, we can do that. And then you will have voice communication.
Yeah, I don't want to be the dictator kind of captain that just makes these decisions for his entire crew, even though that's kind of the job. But you guys think we should burn the momentum? I totally think we should. Let's do it. Let's burn that momentum. I want that comms channel. I want to chew out and also commend Lieutenant Tucker at the same time.
Oh, for the thing?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
It's like you did good, but also we're still here, so...
All right. So you managed to, because I believe your background was science, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's one of the reasons you weren't so able to work with Ensign Sevic, Lieutenant or Commander Sevic, was that you fundamentally were just on your own, doing your own thing, setting this up. So do you wish to have all hands on the comm, or is it just you to him?
For right now, just me.
Okay. You will have access to who is the con? Currently, the person you left on the con is Lieutenant Whisks. Lieutenant Whisks is on the con, and I believe up is human. Lieutenant Whisks needs 2 words to describe him, Captain. Since you've left him in charge of the ship, what kind of a 2-word person is Lieutenant Whisks?
Oh, let's see. Wesk, why did I pick him? Or her? I say extremely thorough.
Okay, I just need 2 words.
Sorry, thorough, messy.
This is gonna be good.
Mm-hmm.
You're a messy bench, and I agree
Ad
with
libs or
Yeah,
Mad libs.
you won't want to go over to their crew quarters. Let's just say that.
So, Lieutenant West, actually, you hear the voice coming through the comms, and it's come in, landing party. Come in, landing party. Lieutenant Wesks has a very wispy sort of voice that troubled him throughout the academy. People keep offering him an inhaler whenever they meet him.
Lieutenant West, this is Captain Sykes.
Captain! Who else is there? You disappeared. Where have you gone? You've been gone for about 2 seconds.
Oh, wow. Well, we've been over here for the better part of a day. I can't really explain too much. Listen, I have a very, very important task for you.
Yes.
Okay. I need you to go through the Starfleet database. I
Yes.
need to know if at any point in time through history anyone claimed to be a crew member from the Kitty Hawk that came back from before time or back in time. I need to know if at all any of these people made it back.
Man, I want a Whoopi Goldberg moment here, but no, I'm not going to do that to you. Hold on, Captain. Well, I don't seem to recall anything about that in our routine. As you know, it's required reading at the academy to know about anyone who's claimed to come back through time, and that didn't seem to show up in any of my textbooks. But I can check the computer as well.
I didn't think so either, but I just wanted to confirm my suspicions before I have to make a very tough decision.
Why are you? Wait, is that where the Kitty Hawk went? Where are you, Captain?
We are currently aboard a Romulan vessel 1,500 years in the past.
Lieutenant Wesks has already got the ship on yellow alert. has now ordered the ship to red alert. Says, "You'll forgive me, Captain. I heard a word, and I felt that was a reasonable precaution."
No, that's perfectly fine. Absolutely.
A Romulan ship, sir?
Yes, the Thunderwing. I doubt we'd have any extensive knowledge of any previous.
Well, hold on. I'm gonna roll some dice. I have a research roll just like anyone else.
Is it gambling on the
And it's
bridge?
a question of whether it depends on whether or not I want to spend threat, because I'm an NPC. Captain, there's there's some records that technically I shouldn't have access to. Permission to violate Starfleet protocol, sir.
Yes. If anything comes about of this, I will take full responsibility.
I can't hear you, Captain. You're breaking up. I'll just go ahead and take care of my own. I'll do this on my own initiative if that's okay.
That's fine. That's fine.
Oh, you're back again. Okay, good. I'm glad to hear you now. Well, I just sort of decided to go look up that name you mentioned. And, well, there's some, I seem to recall something about a Thunderwing being lost in the early days of the Romulan War with all hands.
Thank you, Lieutenant. That confirms my suspicions. Listen, we are about to attempt to return. We may be returning with a ship full of Romulans and
What?
Yes. So I
Do
would
you want
like
me to drill them?
No. Just make sure that you maintain shields and just make sure that you're ready. Don't open fire on any ship that might just happen to randomly appear out of nowhere.
Well, that would be our first move, Captain. I do agree. Thank you for the heads up.
Yeah, diplomacy first, please. We might be on that ship.
Because Lieutenant Charak, the Edwin weapons officer, is thinking very highly about exercising all three arms in a combat exercise.
Well, you know what? Maybe I have some really nice combat simulations for the holodeck. If he really needs to let loose, we can worry about that when we get back.
Okay, we will make sure that weapons are on standby, but not in any. But we will not shoot first, sir.
Wonderful. All right. Keep the transporter lock on us, and we're going to keep this comm link open as well. I don't know if we'll be able to maintain it, but
Okay.
I'd like to try if we can.
All right, Captain. We'll stand by. All right. So who wants their next scene? This is between Nat and Rock.
Go ahead, Nat.
Is this Midwest polite that I see?
Okay.
You all hit each other at the four-way stop.
Oh God, I hate that.
All right, I'll take it.
All right. We left you on the bridge, beginning to talk more with, and kind of getting. Oops, did I actually copy that? Copy.
Yeah, so we
Take
learned
that roll. Take that
that
roll.
We learned
20.
about how the transportation through this goes, and basically that they've been playing
Yes.
pinball inside of here.
Yes.
The idea did occur to me that maybe if we could, because the Kitty Hawk apparently has made this voyage several times, and I'm wondering if we couldn't get some of the flight data off of the Kitty Hawk, and what if that would increase our chances?
Yes, the Kitty Hawk has come through the rift twice. There is some minor power in its cells. Kureth can assist with you attempting to establish a data link. Now, the Kitty Hawk is not. The systems were left unencoded because both crews had been collaborating to put themselves together. So you could attempt to bring the Kitty Hawk data over with a, let me see. Well, it would be a con and control roll.
All right.
And you just need a single success.
Single success.
And Kurith can assist. Roth, would you roll for Kurith? He requires a 14.
All right. I got a 1 success, 1 fail. 10 and a 17.
Okay, no 20s. Okay. Ooh, you guys are popping up high.
Kureth roll 2 dice, excuse me.
He's an assist, so he only rolls 1 die.
17.
Oh,
I got
man.
this. Don't worry.
All right. However, you got it. The data does come through, and it indeed provides the additional mapping data, which will allow you to roll an extra free die on any navigation challenge, restricted to the attempt to transit. So if you're doing any other maneuvers, that does not apply to your con roll. Does that help? Please remember that you do get a +1. Where's my situational modifier? Trait old ship, traded, and trait. 1 die. Wound nav. Does that make sense? Not 12. I don't think it's 12 dice.
I'm pretty sure you said 12.
I'm pretty sure I said 12. Who voted who heard 12? So, yes, and by the way, Kurith, he's a Romulan. He's not hiding anything. He's not as closed as Vulcan. He does look over to you and say, you realize that the Andorians fought against us in the conflict and joined with the humans. And we've always found you to be an honorable race, even when we were attempting to pit you against the Vulcans.
We do value honor above many things.
I wanted to also ask you, do you, as your ancestors did, respect protocol and the way things are done, and the letter of the law, respect and tradition for respect for traditions?
Is this in regards to anything specific?
And he's really looking you over and evaluating you with they're not cold eyes, they're just very, he's just weighing what he's about to say next. And he says, I am captain of this vessel. It is my duty to return my crew to safety, whether that is in this century, in wherever it is that we are to go. It is my duty and right to command this vessel to its destination. Do you understand? Do you understand and appreciate this position?
I do. I'll have a word with our captain.
Thank you. We have all changed. Having worked together with the humans. It is just an incredible tragedy that we found ourselves in conflict where one was not necessary. So anyway, he leaves, and now he goes back to things. Now you're not. I know you're not in the captain's chair. So he's going to. He's still working on controls. You can't do anything from the captain's chair. But I don't know if you wanted to continue doing anything else at this point. You do have a course essentially plotted back home using the beacon, using the base beacon. So there you go. He does call down to the engineering deck where no one else is, by the way. We have two guys. These are the two guys in a warp core, space movers. So this is Anson and Koros have been working in the warp core, and I don't know if anyone wants to check in with them about how they're doing or what they're up to.
Mike Anson's just enjoying a nice kielbasa right now.
I've got a kielbasa. Give me a beer.
I'd like to take that opportunity to slip kind of someplace a little bit more private to open a private channel to the captain.
Sure, you might even say you could make an excuse to go down to engineering to check on things, to lend a hand. Well, actually, yeah, you could call to engineering because you will need power in order to do the navigation, and it might be more logical, more straightforward to conduct those calculations in engineering. Does that make sense? So if you want to take your leave of him, are you taking your leave of
Yes.
Kuruth on the bridge? Leaving him all by himself on the bridge?
I think we've got...
Self on the bridge. Anything could happen. But won't, because I am but one entity. So I'm going to put you in... where's funny space here? Norway on deck. We're going to just when in doubt, corridor. All right, Kirith, forgive me while I pull you, or Ball, forgive me while I pull you off the bridge. Copy. There. All right, you're off on your own. Go right ahead.
All right. Commander Ball to Captain Sykes.
Go ahead, Commander.
Requesting a private conversation, Captain.
Absolutely. And then I'm going to go ahead and excuse myself out into a similar corridor. Hi.
Oh, hi.
It's a really small ship.
Commander,
Navigational vector bridge. It's a small ship.
What are you running into here?
I actually needed to speak with you as well. This is what did you need?
With my brief conversation with Kureth, it's come to my attention that we have not really discussed what our intentions are with the crews of these ships and what we do.
I was having the exact same thought. I don't know how familiar are you, Commander, with pre-Federation history?
Not specifically very good at that topic, Captain.
Well, I know that not one of these crew members makes it back to their timeline, makes it back to any timeline previous to ours. I'm concerned that some of the members of this crew might not take this the right way, but we cannot allow them back to their own timelines. That would alter history too much. They have to come back with us.
I don't disagree with you, Captain. However, maybe having a brief conference with the captains of the crew to at least give them an idea of what their future has. Because as it stands right now, I don't know that they know they have a future, or where that future might be.
All right.
It does not seem unreasonable. So
that is
to explain the situation, which if what you said is true, and the resolution is what it's going to be, then we shouldn't be in fear that anything is going to any repercussions of this should be severe by any standard.
Okay, well, how about this? Everyone has their tasks to complete to make sure that this actually works, because if we can't get this ship into any point in time in the future, then this is all a moot point. But
one more detail. We also were able to pull the data from the Kitty Hawk and give ourselves a better entry point into this rip in time and space here.
It's wonderful. I feel pretty confident that we will be able to make it back. How about this? Continue along, getting us prepared and set up, and I will meet with Kareth and Lieutenant Dane to go over the expectations to make sure that they can keep their crew members in line.
Understood, Captain. Are you sure you want to have that conversation alone?
I think I can handle myself. We have too much. We have too much to do in a short amount of time to be concerned with that. Unless you honestly feel like you need to be there.
I do feel like it is a very sensitive subject and could, if not perceived correctly, go very south very quick. Kareth has already expressed the desire that this is his ship and his ship to captain. And I do believe we should have some respect of that in order to maintain the positive outcome with his crew. As you said, not everybody will be excited about this.
No, you are absolutely right. Why don't you go ahead and grab Kurith and take him to the conference room that we were just in, and I will do the same with Lieutenant Dane.
Dun dun dun. Now Roxor's gets to do something because he's been very good all month. He wants to target the warp core. He's been very good. He wants to target the warp core. So we're going to go back to what I thought was where we'd lead the story off from. We started here. Here we go. Come on. There we go. Pasting. It's all about goofiness. So I believe we're down to 2 momentum, if I'm not mistaken. 3 momentum. Okay. All right. Well, Aria has uncovered a bottle of Romulan ale, and I believe that she feels it's like, well, we need to go analyze this. I don't know what this is, no matter what the audience guessed. I don't know if that's, I'm not on tape as saying this. Gordo is visible, is very nervous. I mean, aside from the fact you're pointing a phaser at his head, Bejor, and stun still hurts, or you can actually make it hurt if you feel like it. So, do you wish to away to the medical bay, or what do you want to do with this person who was disposing of crates?
And if I recall correctly, we had already heard the airlock cycle when we happened upon him with this crate.
Yes, it had already cycled once.
Okay, so I say to Mr. Gordo, Mr. Gordo, we know that this is not the first crate that you jettisoned out of the airlock. What was in the first one?
Same.
Then why didn't you put both of the crates in the airlock at once?
Because it's not dramatically appropriate, and you were really, really slow getting here.
I was not
Also,
slow getting there.
Also,
No.
I wasn't sure about getting rid of all of it.
Oh, I don't blame you. That stuff's strong. I guess I think to myself, and I feel it's appropriate to talk to the captain about how we caught this gentleman from the other ship jettisoning things out of the airlock for whatever strange reason. So I would like to I will grab Mr. Gordo by the arm and escort him to wherever Captain says.
The captain is located in the conference room.
To the conference room it is.
Oh, this is going to just be space HR. Here we go. It's the captain's job. Arya, the doctor, says
We are on somebody else's ship, so I'm using discretion.
What? For what? Sorry?
For taking him to the captain rather than just putting him out the airlock myself out of complete lack of self-control.
Okay. Well, it's good to know that Starfleet's still recruiting from the middle of the gene pool for this. The shallow, not totally the shallow end of the gene pool.
Space times are tough.
Yes, the Aria has said that she is going. The medical officer. So, well, I'm going to go and analyze this. And by the way, Sec, that bottle looks familiar.
It does.
Believe it or not. Where do you think you've seen that bottle before?
I think back to a time where I saw that bottle when we were celebrating in the bar when we were about ready to set off on the Norway.
Yes. So the markings on that bottle are distinctively similar to the ones that you were served in the bar.
And just looking at it gives me a slight headache.
Okay. Just letting you know. So she's going to. Did you want to alert your comrade to the fact that you think that bottle might be? You might see that bottle again.
We both look at the bottle and then look at each other, then look back at the bottle and then look at each other, and give one of those weird, The Rock raised one eyebrow type things.
And she looks as, I'm on it. She's not going to take the entire crate, so I don't know what you're going to do with the crate.
I'm going to make Mr. Gordo pick it up and carry it as I tell him that we are going to find Captain Sykes in the conference room.
Okay. Actually, you can, rather than ambush the good captain where you don't know where he quite is, if you want to calm him.
Yep, I would.
Diddle-dee.
Captain.
Yeah.
I'm on another mission right now. If you'd leave your particulars.
Yes, Lieutenant Commander.
Captain, I found one of the crew members of the ship here jettisoning some things out of the airlock, and I wanted to bring him down to see you so we can discuss what to do about this. He's still withholding information from me, and I've had a feeling he's been doing it since we've gotten here.
Yes, I'm on my way to the conference room right now to speak with the commanding officers of both crews. If you want to meet me there, that's perfectly fine.
I am on my way.
Dun, dun, dun. So, let me see. Would the next maneuver be to the conference room?
Yes.
Also, Mr. Sevick, you have free will. You have accomplished a task. Is there anything you wish to do between the bouts of the giggle shits?
I'm gonna tap my communicator and get Captain Sykes. Captain Sykes, I have completed my tasks, and it am I needed elsewhere?
Yes. Why don't you head down to engineering and see if you can't help them make sure that we're gonna have enough power for this task.
Very well, Captain.
Okay, it's Space Buddies. So I will start transiting you down there. Let me see. This means that everyone's going to be in the conference room because this is Star Trek.
I just had this picture of like the captain walking the halls with a reluctant Lieutenant Dane behind him, just constantly having his communicator going off. Like, what the hell? A moment's peace. A moment's peace.
Let me see. Where is? That's all that. Oh, that's the wrong one.
That's why you're the lieutenant, and I'm the captain.
Lieutenant Dane.
I'm trying to take it.
Well, it might be easier just to grab this. Where are we at? Okay.
And just delete everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, it's way easier. This is again, this is the equivalent of let Q sort them out. Drag them all in, let Q sort them out. There we go. Yeah, he's there. Mike's not. We're not going to bring the crew over. We're not going to bring the crews over. I believe we're back down to 3 Jomentum. Sec, right? Have I got everybody here who needs to be here? Oops.
I think that looks right.
Just make sure you're the only 2 with helmets. Someone's here. Lieutenant K. Oh, that's right, because K could walk. Actually, K can walk with you to the conference room because you were just outside of that door. Mm-hmm. Did you want to bring K along? Did you want to have another conversation with K?
I'll leave that up to Lieutenant K. I'm perfectly content with having gone in there, explaining to her that we are needed in the conference room, and then walking there. But if she has anything she needs to say to me, she's more than welcome to. This is a free galaxy, as it were.
Not she doesn't have anything to say. She's a bit, yeah, that's exactly it. She is actually she's looking and like, it's like we've stabilized the rift. And actually she says, well, congratulations, this is indeed good news. We've stabilized the rift. I hope that we can make it back, where the rest of the crew wasn't able to. And I don't know if you wanted to, just say, yeah.
That's exactly. I'm gonna go. That's a wonderful thought as we continue to walk, and I'm not going to give her any kind of like inclination of what I'm
Honorable
thinking or anything like that.
Okay.
It's an honorable suggestion.
Yeah. So I'll take that into consideration, Lieutenant. Thank you.
So you do arrive at the conference room. Curith is just reported from the bridge. He's kind of there waiting for you already. And let me see. The order of arrival is the captain, Ball, and Kay arrive with Curith, and Bejor and Gordo are not here yet because Gordo is really slow with the case. I got to bring the case along. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to temporarily delete you two out of the scene. Is that okay? Well, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you're okay or not. You're boned.
Penalty box.
Penalty box. Non-existence. I have no need for you in the narrative. Which never hurt Dr. Crusher. She always just showed up and danced if necessary. Her and her useless son.
You watch it about Bev Crush.
That spear through the chest was the best thing that ever happened to that young whelp. Here's the two leaders of the groups that have been working together for months. And Curith says, yes, we are here, and do you need? Are we here to share status reports? I have your navigator has, or your Bahal has, I believe, plotted a course that will take us through the wound very efficiently and with a margin for safety that I actually could not have dreamed possible.
Yes, my crew is very thorough, very, very thorough, but that's not why I called you all here.
Well, I want to say something. I've realized while we were all rejoicing in our success, the course that he has plotted is based upon a beacon from your time, but not from our own.
Yes. Well, I have much to discuss with you all.
Indeed.
Since the moment we stepped foot on this ship, I have commanded my crew to keep a very tight lip about any news from the future, anything like that. But I think now it might be time to kind of throw that out the window, as it were. In the centuries following your disappearance, there will be a formation of a large federation of planets, the likes of which have never been seen. A cooperation throughout the entirety of the galaxy, at least in the explored quadrants.
Kay's actually quite perks up quite a bit at this, obviously.
And this is all thanks to a ship called Enterprise and its commanding officer, Jonathan Archer, actually, which I'm pretty sure both of you would probably know pretty well, considering that it's from right around your time.
We are aware of Commodore Archer.
Yes, and I guess he would be a Commodore at that point.
He is a cunning opponent, and was seen as a threat to the Empire. So this alliance, what of Romulus?
Well, it's funny you should mention that, because there's really not a whole lot of data on that. Your species has pretty much been very reclusive ever since the formation of the neutral zone. But now I'm not going to be sitting here and boring you with these kind of details. My main focus for this conversation is, at no point in time in our history did any members of the Kitty Hawk or the Thunderwing ever make it back. And I'm sorry, but my present is not something that I am willing to sacrifice for anyone. You all are going to have to come back with us. There's just no way around it. I will not risk further contamination of the timeline. We have something in our timeline called the Temporal Prime Directive, and I am beholden to that doctrine. I must maintain that. I cannot allow anything to come between that, and I'm asking for both of you to understand this and to keep your crew in check, because I know that this is probably not making everybody in this room very happy, and it's probably not going to make the rest of your crews very happy.
So we are ghosts.
In a manner of speaking, yes. Both ships disappeared, and it's maintained itself as a mystery up until the 24th century.
Okay, what I need you to do is command and presence. Now, I'm not going to tell you how many successes you need. Do you wish to? Yes, you may assist. Yes, you obviously can assist. I would prefer it if you danced for me like a little trained dog, and performed some sort of a verbal feat to entertain the bloodthirsty hordes out in the audience.
And by you coming into our timeline, you obviously would be helped to acclimate into the new environment. We wouldn't just throw you out there and leave you to your own devices. We would help catch you guys up to speed, and Starfleet would give you some direction and guidance and assistance. So,
would we be allowed to return to the Empire?
I don't know. Would there be any regulation that would stop that?
Right.
So.
Our relationship with
I'm going to Starfleet as hell, man.
Yeah. Our relationship with the Romulan Star Empire is tenuous at best, but we have subspace communications and ways of getting into contact of a few Romulans. I know Captain Picard has had dealings along the neutral zone a lot, so I'm positive that we'd be able to find a way.
And based on the
to
work
get
that you guys have done here, you can continue these kinds of interspecies relations and help in the future with similar work that you've been doing here.
Oh,
Yeah.
Kay actually latches on to that, like not necessarily a drowning person, but maybe something good has come of this, despite the sacrifice and tragedy. Now, before you'd both be doing a presence and command roll with an unknown number of successes, because that's based on my evaluation of your petty performances. However, at this point, in comes a man with a crate.
I do know I'm gonna buy a momentum, or use a momentum to buy a die.
I got a 1.
Oh yes, you may attempt. Now let me see. They come in as you're evaluating, and also you have communications from your officer, from your medical officer.
Oh, okay, yeah, absolutely. Let that interrupt what's going on, please.
Do you want to answer it or not?
Yes, doctor.
All I can hear is her being Dr. Trahani from Lower Decks. The prions, they're in the booze.
The prion, the thing that made everyone sick.
Get Civic down here. I can whip up a cure in no time.
Absolutely, I'll send him straight. Are you in the med bay?
Yes, this is great.
Wonderful. I'll send him right away, and then immediately contact down to Cvec. Cvec, this is the captain.
Yes, Captain.
It seems that the doctor has made a medical breakthrough and can 100% cure you, as she is very confident. So I would like you to
100%. I got about 65.
well,
Captain, if I may, I've experienced the doctor's confidence as of late.
Cvec, I would really, Lieutenant Commander, I'd really like to make this not be an order, but I will order you to sickbay if needed.
I'm on my way, sir.
Thank you. Did you end up getting down to the warp core at all?
Yes, he did. I'm going to cut away to the warp core. Before you have a call from the captain, Mike is having a beer while he's doing this, and they welcome you and say, "Hey, Civic, we could use a hand. Give us some of that fancy future knowledge on this. We got a warp core here, but it's got some fused pieces.
All right.
We're going to have to build it up to 850,000 teradynes, and we're not going to move this Hulk at all." And Koros looks and says, "Agreed."
Very well. A simple task by my time's technology.
Okay. So you need an engineering and, well, it's an old ship, so it's still going to be a bit of a +1 on you. That's the difficulty. But engineering and control, and you'll need 2 successes, and that's after accounting for the difficulty.
Okay.
And Mike's gonna assist.
All right, and I am going to purchase 1 die.
Okay. The captain is now in trouble.
Very good. With a target of 17, I have rolled a 7, a 6, and an 11. 3 successes.
3 successes. So you bring 1 success back to the pool. Whoops. 3. Mike was assisting, and he rolled a 20. So he's added a complication to the situation, and what I'm going to do is that would be Professor Bird. So it's cool. I hope we probably have a license for this music. So let's see if we get demonetized. It's Italian opera. So what we have is what I'm going to do in the finest of gaming traditions is allow you to choose your pain, as it were. The possible complications would include an increased difficulty in the navigator's attempt to get you home, a erratic power supply, which could make it either easier or harder for them to maintain power, or a radiation leak, which might require the crew to make a series of health saving throws. So one is guaranteed difficulty, one is possible difficulty, possible success, boon or bust, and then the other is injury to the crew.
Okay, I got to speak out of character on this one.
Sure.
We do have currently have an advantage for this navigation. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. In which case, the logical choice would be to take away one of the 2 advantages.
Okay. So you everyone's aware we're down to 1 advantage on the thing. All right. Logically picked. the safe choice. So mundane. Perhaps when the doctor fixes you, you'll have more of a sense of adventure. And then we cut back to the communications, and you're back to working with the doctor. You're reporting to Medbay now. Gonna now switch over to us. In comes Weirdo. So, Mr. Bejor, you have a whole new friend to show everyone.
I do. Captain,
It's up to you to like stop him if you want, man.
What's that?
No, I was talking to the captain. Does have the ability to go. Not now, Madeline.
Captain, I believe I have some important information for you and the rest of the crew.
You're muted, Captain. Use your inside.
I thought he was.
Thank you.
I thought he was cursing.
Yes, absolutely. Can you take a number?
I don't think this can wait.
Okay, and then I'm gonna look at Kureth and the lieutenant and go, if you would just bear with me for one moment, please, and then I'll turn my attention to my security officer. Yes, Lieutenant Commander.
Captain, ever since we all met here, I had the feeling that Mr. Gordo was hiding something. It seemed that he had nothing but disdain for the efforts of everybody working together here. I confronted him in the hallway earlier and was firm with him and got the information out that he does not appreciate working with the Romulans. Later on, I then found him trying to jettison crates out of the airlock. When the chief medical officer and I inspected what was in the crates, we found bottles of Romulan ale. One of the bottles in the case was missing from it. And I heard that the chief medical officer called earlier and discovered that the prions that were affecting Chief Engineer Civic, they were in the Romulan ale that she had analyzed. If you recall, when we were launching the Norway, we had all shared some of this Romulan ale, and we've determined that there's something going on, some sort of prion disease that's been affecting the Romulans, causing them to act irrationally, and as well as affecting our chief engineer in a strange way. Upon figuring that out, it seems that somehow that bottle of Romulan ale made it to our time. It was drank by Chief Engineer Civic, which has been affecting him. And my suspicions about Mr. Gordo causing problems with this joint mission all make sense now. And as they said in the 21st century, boom goes the dynamite.
So you think that the ensign here is he contaminated these bottles? Is that your thought process?
I do, but I'm not exactly sure how he would have had the means to do this.
Well, look, I can't fault him for being distrustful of Romulans for this time period. You have to understand, Lieutenant Commander. The Romulans have been fomenting distrust between all of the species in the Alpha Quadrant for decades prior to the Earth-Romulan War. But in this situation that is not an excuse, we have to work together to get out of here. And Ensign Gordo, I'd really appreciate it if we stop the lies. What's going on?
All right, so you just went off to the side of the conference room.
Is that where they are? Is that what's going
they're
on?
They're in the conference room. You didn't indicate you were leaving.
No, yeah, I haven't left. But it's like,
Okay.
were they off to the corner of the?
Yeah, but it's a smallish room.
Got it.
Voices will travel, and those ears are pointy.
I heard something about dynamite. I don't understand what that.
There's dynamite. There's a bomb! Captain, there's a bomb!
Can't say bomb on an airplane.
You can't even say bomb in a movie studio board meeting.
Bomb, 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 bomb. What's wrong with bombardier?
So, Kurith comes up, and so does Kay, and actually as a team, and also they join you as the captain. They join the captain, saying, "Yes, indeed." And Kay looks, Simon, what did you do? And again, this is a do you have interrogate? I forget. Does Sec have interrogation or anything along those lines? I forget what the talent list was.
Oh, let's see. I do not. I have bold security.
All right. Oh, that's right.
Not interrogation.
Everyone stood up and went, "Hello!" Everyone has now surrounded Simon. At this point, you have all surrounded Simon. Yes, you have that will be good enough. Now, if you wish, well, you're assisting, so you can't really use your bold security.
Oh.
However, you would assist the captain in his interrogation check, which would be, I believe, a presence and security, Captain. And
Presence and security?
Yes. And it will cost you at least one. It will take 2 successes. And Sec, Bajor, you're the same way. Presence and security. You need to generate 2 successes between you.
Okay, and I just roll 1 die since I'm assisting.
1 die since you're being a friend.
Okay.
Sorry to make this a bit of a captain's holiday here.
Yes.
But you can punch anyone you feel the need to punch.
Don't worry, Lieutenant Commander. I've got a hollow novel for you.
A lot of hollow novels.
Ooh, I got a 1 and a 9.
Ooh.
That's
Nice.
3. How did you do? Did your dice agree with your intuitive power?
Most certainly. I have a 16 between the 2 of those, and I rolled a 10.
All right. So you generated, I think, 3 momentums, 2 momentum, 3 momentum to spare, right? I think you roll 4 successes altogether, and you don't need 1. So you now have 6 momentum in your bank, or your maximum amount allowable. And Simon, at this point, will the rubber mask has come off, and he said, I don't trust the Romulans, and this was going to be a little going away present for them. We deserve to make it back, not them.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. Kay will ask him, Castle, how did you do it? And he names the assistant medical officer who was over on the Kitty Hawk when it made its trip and is dead. I had her engineer the prion for me. And if it hurt a few Vulcans too, well, so be it. They deserved it for not pitching in with the war. And he looks over at Bahal and says, "You know what I mean. You can't trust them Vulcans."
I'm gonna slam my fist down on the desk. I'm gonna walk away a little bit, slam my fist down on the desk. Ensign, you are the reason that my crew is stuck here. Had you not interfered, the plan may have been successful to begin with. But no, you had to interfere. And now here we all are. How do you feel about that, Ensign?
Feel good.
I'm going to look at Kurith and go, do you have a brig? I don't know much about Romulan ships.
We have other means of discipline, and there is no need for it on a Romulan ship.
Oh, Daddy.
he's still he despite what he has done, he
Roll
is still a
for me,
human.
Show me
Yeah.
you still care.
He's still a human, and he still has the basic rights afforded to any human, regardless of what he's done.
He is, I believe, what you call one of our own, Captain.
Yes.
Is there a pre-agreed upon
Do you have a place
disciplinary system between the Kitty Hawk and Kareth's ship?
Kate didn't. We never had a need for one. Also, something's dawning on Kareth. That Jarek, the Vulcan that went and caused the assault on the Kitty Hawk, might not have been a traitor.
Yep.
So that's dawning on him. And at this point, I would like the captain and Bahal to make your rolls on of unknown with the unknown success
I
target.
actually rolled
Yes.
3, because I thought we were supposed to do it before. Do I have to re-roll?
Oh yeah, that's okay.
Do I have to re-roll?
What? No, you do not.
I got a 1. I was just
Nope.
super. Oh.
Don't tell us until. I'm sorry. Let me see. It was against what? Command and presence.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. Okay. You hold on to yours because we're actually going to do this as a big reveal. But thank you for doing that and being honest. Who says you can't find an honest Andorian nowadays? I would almost buy a shuttle from this man.
I am going to pretend that I do not know what his role was, and I had already stated that I was going to burn a momentum to buy an extra die. So
Okay.
I still have the 3 in my hand ready to go.
All right. And again, you do not know what your target is.
I got a 3, a 13, and a 19. So I got 2 successes.
Mm-hmm. And Mr. Bahal, or I said Bahal, what was your result? What?
I'm just hearing this now.
I'm just hearing it now. You did need 3 successes. Actually, you only needed 2 because of the tremendous speeches that both of you gave and the rational, reasoned set of arguments that you presented, as well as dealing with honestly with the traitor. So that means you actually bank. Well, sadly, you can only bank 1 momentum out of all that effort. But you did succeed. The Kurith and Kay are both. Well, the Kurith says, perhaps returning to our own time was not. We are ghosts, and I will happily pilot my ship to where it needs to go, or captain my ship to where it needs to go. So how's that going down with you there, Sparky?
I'm gonna look at him and go.
Yeah, Bright Eyes, that's
Yep.
you. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, can you speak for certain that the rest of your crew will feel the same way?
They're Romulans. They understand duty, and our duty is forward.
Well,
We've also all agreed to work in common cause to possibly bring peace before this war, before the war does, or I guess could or did spin out of control.
I'll give you a little bit that might make you feel a little happy. I don't think there was a clear winner or loser in the war. I think both sides both kind of just capitulated to the other side. So you didn't lose, per se.
I don't know. There's a bunch of asteroids that says otherwise, but never mind me. Kirith says, I know, but at what cost? The praetor does not have to be blood-soaked. So yeah, and in the meantime, Anson calls up and goes, "Hey, the pterodines are falling off the warp ellipse, and we're getting an asymmetric imbalance in the lateral thrust cones. So now or never might be a good phrase, because Sivic's a good guy and all, but there's just only so much you can do to put this thing over 130%.
So you're saying that it's either now or never?
Well, it's soon or never, yeah.
That's very descriptive. Thank you. I'm gonna look at both at pretty much everybody around the table and go, well, we're only gonna get one shot at this, because if we fail, we're gonna end up like the crew on the Kitty Hawk. So, do we all feel confident?
We do have to scuttle the Kitty Hawk before we go, of course.
Absolutely. We cannot have a ship from the future staying here in the past. Does this ship have photonic weaponry at all?
Kay is looking and saying, no, we gave him a good fight. We used everything we had against each other, which is why we actually ripped a hole in space-time. We weren't holding back, Cat. We weren't holding back. There's the ship itself. You could rubbleize it, I guess. I don't know. You could shoot it into the sun.
Yes. Could we use a tractor beam from this vessel to kind of just pull it to give it momentum to throw it into the sun of this system?
Kirith looks at you and... A what?
Oh, I've got a tractor. You know what? You'll figure it out.
We have enough power left in the battery cells to give it at least basic navigational control.
I think for a couple of momentum, you could declare that as a fact. For two momentum, I can sell you. Well, see, we don't know how that's supposed to work, but there is a possibility, yes. That happens to work. There was a suggestion. Actually, can I cut over to, while you guys are debating how to wreak yet more mindless destruction to keep the industrial light and magic people employed, but we'll just rerun the loop of the Klingon bird of prey blowing up again. And just mat over it with an AMT model kit. However, we do have a medical bay issue. Where's my medical bay issue? Shoot.
Ruh-roh.
Ruh-oh.
Ruh-roh.
Dead. No, you never made it to sick bay. You're done.
Laughing the entire way to his death.
Giggling the entire way. As your cortex slowly melts out of your nose. Look at that. You're all back in the spot.
Oh, we're going to become famous.
Yeah, I want to be famous. Thanks, one ALOLOL.
Oh,
You have
let me
been banned.
What?
Bigfollows.com, everyone. Get that? Bigfollows.com.
Don't mistype that.
What is going on?
Fucking assholes.
Oh,
Big fellows.
yes.
Ooh.
What a turd.
So we have Civic, you have reported to sickbay, and the doctor looks like she's got a hyper spray full of something.
Doctor, our good captain says you have yet another attempt to restore my lexicon.
Oh, yes, this is going to be easy. Hold on just a second. I read about these prions, and yeah, I think it'll be good. You're going to have a good time with this. All I'm going to tell you is it may cause uncontrollable sneezing for a little bit. So it may cause a problem. I don't know how long it'll last. But it'll probably be a couple of good ones. So make sure into your elbow is the way I would do this. And then she just, like as always, jams it into your neck.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank for watch.
Hey, give somebody a break here, and she scrapes most of this back off of her shirt. I know that the blood's not the only thing that's green, but geez.
Did they, Doctor? Would you happen to be aware if they had replicators back in this century? It seems I need a tissue.
No, she just hands you a fancy Romulan tablecloth. Lame. It's a gold lame tablecloth because they all had sparkly shit on them, so it's gonna be a little abrasive on your nose.
Ooh, fancy.
Fancy. It's right next to the bottle of Windex over there. It's got some colored water in it. So she gives you a hanky, and Hijo looks at this and actually is concerned about the prions. And this would be NPC to NPC because the character is not here today. Does anyone want to take over for Arya for this interaction?
Sure, yeah, why not? I'll give it a shot. I can be a doctor.
All right. Well, because Hijo wants to know more about the prions and if he can have the what's happened to the rest of these containers.
Which containers are we speaking of? The containers that had the booze, or
He holds up the Vorka Cha. That's what they call it.
oh, okay.
And it forcefully opens the nostrils. That's how you know it's good.
Yeah.
I loved somebody correcting me in the comments. I wish you were paying that close of attention.
Well, I know that the crate was missing one bottle, and there may have been another crate that was ejected into space. So that's where this came from.
I need these samples destroyed utterly. Can you turn over all relevant data to us so that we may have a cure if this escapes?
You can have all you can use any data that I have collected, but I'm gonna keep the originals.
They are a danger to the Romulan people, and as we see, our Vulcan cousins.
Yes, which is why it should be studied more in my time with the proper medical equipment.
Okay, she needs a presence. Oh God, I gotta give you her numbers, don't I?
Just tell me what the target is.
Oh, I'm working on that. She's gonna need. Oh, I'm glad I typed all these out. Her presence and command. Oh, equally crappy. Oh, the doctor is a droll one. She needs an 11. A succeeding thing is about success would be about a 2. Since he's rather adamant about he likes burning things a lot. You get the sense that he's done. Now, Sivik, while you're busy sneezing your brains out, I don't know if you wanted to weigh in.
As a matter of fact, I did. And I'll tell you, Joe. Mr. Hijo, while I understand your desire to keep the good doctor's samples, we'll say, As dangerous as it is to you, clearly this disease has not made it to the 24th century. It would be more logical to leave it with us.
All right, you're going to need 3 successes against, and this is against presence and security.
And the doctor is
She has a
target
target of 11.
I'm gonna burn 3 momentum to get 2 dice.
And quick, I'm assisting on this.
You're assisting again with a. You could use. Well, you're trying to logic this. But this is really a presence in either command or security.
Ooh, well, I got a 1.
That's 2 successes.
Mm-hmm. I got a 1, an 8, a 17, and a 15.
Okay. A 1 and an 8. That's 2 and a 1. That's 3 successes.
Right
17
there.
and 15 are not used. How did Mr. Sivik go? How did High Roller go?
I don't want to talk about it.
Did you get a 20? You got a 20.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
So many bards had so much sex with so many dragons at this point. Mr. Sivik, you really need to go to D&D Las Vegas and take the bard. Did we roll a 20? Did Udams roll a 20?
I'm so glad I spent that momentum.
Oh, that doesn't negate the complication.
No, but at least we got enough successes.
At least he's not going to burn you down where you stand. Yes, that is indeed a threat that he would possess. And he tightens his jaw and says, I understand and I feel very uncomfortable leaving the fate of the Empire in the hands of people that we do not truly know. And he wasn't privy to any of the kumbaya that all of you had in your labs. So let me see what happens here. All right, so I don't know what you guys want to do with this. He's not taking any action at this point. And then over the comms, you hear the captain say,
this is the captain, Captain Sykes.
one of them, yes.
We yeah.
One of the captains.
We have a very limited window in which to get back to the appropriate time. So we need all hands at their stations. We are going to make this attempt. We will only get 1 attempt, and I do not have to remind anyone what will happen if we fail. So I'm gonna kind of like, you can kind of hear him kind of hushed voice go, what do you guys say? What is, do you guys say all hands to your stations as well? Is that something you say?
He basically over the voice, he yells out from the back, "Show on true," and there you go. Yells that one out.
I was wondering if Jolan True is going to be said at some point in time.
Yes, that was a secret. That was the secret word. We went. The duck has flown down. The great bird has flown down, and given us what was it called? And given us 500 credits. So yes, that's an old school joke. I'm sorry, that just did not land at all.
I thought it was good. Hey, Lonely fans, I want to thank you for that 7 months subscription. That's crazy. Everybody who's in the chat, you could spam those hearts. We got you those hearts to spam. So show some love to Lonely fans. And thank you for eating the bee holes. Yes. I guess.
Is this a thing that we need to discuss offline?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe we need to have a conversation with Lonely
Gordo
fans.
never did get his moment in the sauna.
No, he didn't. He needs that shower real quick.
He's definitely got a filminess. I think everyone nearby Gordo is going to need to take a very strong sonic shower after dealing with him. So I have all hands. There's an all hands. There's prepared to enter the rift. Where will everyone be going? By the way, if the engineer wishes to quit snotting all over himself, I believe fitness and half again, because I don't believe in any of these disciplines. So fitness and half again your fitness is your target number, and you need 1 success.
Fitness and
Round down. Does that make sense? Because stopping sneezing is not a science thing. You've scienced yourself into stopping to sneeze.
Science, bitch.
That's a mess.
A what? A miss?
What
was your target on this?
I've acquired a target of 15. I have rolled a 17.
Oh, you get 2 dice.
Oh.
Roll another die.
That one's a 9.
What?
9.
Okay, so you do manage to get over the sneezy wheezies, and you are your old smiling self again.
Smiling is illogical.
So where does everyone want to report?
Bridge.
Yep, bridge.
Okay.
Bridge.
Anyone else? I guess Bajar's going to just sit on Gordo because there's no place else for him to go.
I too will head to the bridge, provided they have an engineering station.
They do have some kind of engineering station. However, it might, knowing what you know about these ships, it was more of a yell down a hole affair. Which meant that your talents might be more applicable in an actual engineering bay. Is it because Mike smells like Axe, Old Spice?
Whether or not I had ulterior motives.
And onions?
Two is irrelevant. Though Mr. Hansen does possess quite the musk about him.
It's brute. Did you have an excuse that you could make to be where you needed to be?
Wait, I'm sorry, say again?
Sorry. The more logical thing for you to do, you'd be most effective physically near actual engineering components.
Right.
But if
I'll go ahead and head to engineering then.
Okay. I didn't know you seemed hell bent for Leather to be on the bridge. Is all. So I wasn't sure what you needed. Okay, so bringing along. Holy crap! Is there anybody who's not on the bridge? Yes.
Well, as we just discussed, Q.
Indeed.
Or long memories not part of omnipotence.
It's all just a glorious blur, a continuum of experience, and me accidentally duplicating your comrade, as 2 quarters. So we'll throw you over here. We'll throw your hat there. Yes. You're still wearing your space hat. That's very impressive. These things have got to be pretty funky by now.
With all these alien diseases flying around, you can't be too careful.
All right. So here's the deal. We're walking under the bridge with Kirith. Kirith is going to walk to the captain's chair, and he's going to plop down. Um, good old R4 will also be on the bridge, manning an ops
I'd like
station.
To, ask, curious if, with your permission, would you mind me manning the helm?
Oh yeah, he would say, I would be most honored if you would apply your advice and extensive experience to our current situation, so that these crews may finally get home, whenever that is.
Do I see a science station?
You do now.
I'm gonna walk right on over to it. No,
Okay.
no requests or anything like that. I'm just gonna walk over to it, pop myself down,
Sure.
start trying to learn Romulan controls.
Yeah, that's going to be, well, it's about a die off, you know. Let me see. So who else is, I got to put civic in engineering, or civic in engineering. Oh, look, you're back with the boys. You're back at the nerd table at lunch. How does it feel to go back to the nerd table?
Comfort.
Indeed, we all speak.
A conversation that at least stimulates my mind.
If I
Such
believe,
conversations are rarely achieved when Captain Sykes believes he's figured out the latest mystery to whatever hollow novel he's picked.
what are them hollow novels? Are they like a thing that's hollow?
Actually, sir, or Mr. Anson, yes.
Okay, well, I guess I'll take that. Take that on board. I'm a Harlequin guy myself. I've got one called The Bodice Heaveth. And I can't wait to get back. Well, it was on the ship. Maybe we should find out if it's still there. No, it's too late. Well, I'll bet I can just look it up. All right. So they're prepping, and basically both of them are, trying to maintain the power levels at this point. There doesn't seem to be any immediate need for you to act or react, unless there's something you think you might want to poke your
Indeed.
ears into.
Nothing in particular. However, I would like to pull out my tricorder, my engineering tricorder, and just keep scanning their power systems to make sure everything is functioning properly.
Okay, so I'm counting that as a standing order observation. Yep. Just running an observation standard, just being alert and aware, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And you're focusing on the power core and the conduits that were probably weakened by this
Yes.
trips through time and space battle, let's face it. So they're working together. I believe that we are ready to go into the rift. Now you guys have charted a course for the what? Yep.
Blow up the Kitty Hawk. We've gotta make sure that we're blowing up the Kitty Hawk before we go through the hole.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, that's something you could probably do from the science station.
Wonderful. I'm just gonna keep on taking a look at the science station and seeing if I can't.
Looks like you're able to. The fun thing is, science and communications are pretty much the same thing as far as the Romulans are concerned. It's all about signals, and also it looks like there's something here called stealth. You're finding a little stealth button there.
Oh,
Nothing fancy for the time, or for the time it was.
right.
But you have you can basically use your CONN, and control, and that will allow you to latch to essentially tell the Kitty Hawk what to go do with itself in the sun. Reaction control thrusters and things like that are online. You guys had established that. So you just need a single success to do that.
Let me buy one momentum. Let me buy one die with momentum just to be on the safe side. My
Okay.
rolls have been all over the place.
Oh, I think that actually goods have been only in one place.
Ooh, I got a 5, a 10, and a 12, and that was what that all three of them are
Successes?
successes. Yes.
Okay. While you have control of the kitty hawk, is there anything else you want to do with it or find out from it before it goes to its fiery death? You have a couple of points of momentum, essentially, that go to waste.
Absolutely. I want to attempt to download its database. Basically, any ship's logs from the crew, so that way we could send that to any surviving family members.
Okay.
Ancestors, of course, this would be. So that'd be
Descendants.
way far down the line.
Yes.
Um,
These would be the anti-ancestors, as I
Yeah.
believe Mr. Sivik would say.
Yep. Oh no, the prions. They're affecting me.
Prions.
Oh.
So, yeah, you do pull off those logs from the momentum you spent, the spare momentum. Kirith is saying, all right, take us in, Bal. And so for right now, Nav is going to be a series of challenges. I'm going to just let you know. They'll be entering the rift, navigating the rift, and exiting the rift. Okay? And just I just hear the dice thump. because screw you, target number. I just did a thing. Let me see. Where do I put you in a void? You need to be in a magic void here, sir. It's going to be you and the guild navigator. You're going to be in. Are you in your special dye tank filled with crack cocaine?
Sure.
I hope so.
I hope so indeed. You are in your special dye tank filled with crack cocaine. It's also obvious to everyone. So enter rift or enter wound. And again, all of these use your NAB bonuses. And this would be con plus control, believe it or not. And this would be a normal target of 3. And then there's a, did you get a bonus? You get a bonus die on this, correct? That's how we did that? Okay. Just wanted to make sure I was consistent and did not deprive you of your chance to attempt to cheat fate. All right, so it's con plus con at 3.
Con plus con.
And I don't know what, I believe it's con, right? Is it, what are your control plus con? All right.
All right. So you said how many successes did I need?
You need 3 successes.
Okay. Then I want to get 3 dice, right?
You do get 3 dice for
So
free,
this part is for entering.
and this is to enter.
All right. Then why don't we burn? Oh wait a minute. I have bold con too. That lets me re-roll one, right?
It does if you buy a die with threat.
All right. And what is our threat up to?
10.
That seems awfully high.
Yes, thank you for reminding me. I believe that the queue overlook things. We're red-green colorblind. I can't tell what's yours and what's mine. We're all just going to have space communism.
All right.
That sounds like a dream.
Luxury space communism to you, young man.
Then I'm going to buy 1 die and then burn 1 threat for reroll.
Okay. You do buy the you buy the die with threat, essentially. So you've given me just that much more. And yes, so go ahead and for your dooms. So you have 4 dice,
Yep.
if I'm not
All right,
mistaken.
and I needed, let's see, 15 or lower. I have a 4, a 7, an 8, and a 14. 4 successes.
All right. Hot damn. So you 1 to spare. No use for it at this point. So I'm afraid it just falls off the edge of the table. And that is a tremendous thing to do. Now, Mr. Sivik, I need you to roll against engineering and insight.
Two successes, rolling for or target of insight and engineering.
Yep.
12. So target of 12, I rolled a 2 and a 3.
All
Nice.
right, congratulations. You know what that does?
Absolutely nothing.
I'm guessing you're going.
Absolutely nothing.
Oh,
That lets you see a spanner come whizzing at your head from behind you in time to avoid it. Hijo has
I turned the
appeared
compromise
in
back.
the engineering section while you were all occupied doing your tasks. Oh, remember all that? Well, that. So, Hijo is not super good with weapons, but he is ready to do some what we will call damage.
Well, I'm gonna pull. I'll pull my phaser out and brandish it at him. Mr. Hijo, I suggest you cease and desist your attack now.
Okay, he is going to spend a threat to do what is called seize the initiative. When combat occurs, generally the players, they're so delicate and fragile that they need to go first to just try and win against a universe that's so unfair to them. However, NPCs can also exercise a thing called seize the initiative. Mr. Security Man, you'll eventually learn about this when you get done with just simply being Angela Lansbury in Murder, She Wrote in space. Figuring out wine and ale and poison. So basically, he's going to seize the initiative and attack you with a swung weapon. And at this point, it becomes a security and daring challenge. And what he's going to do is whoever generates the most successes wins in the conflict.
All right. Well, this isn't very good. So I'm going to have to purchase 1 die.
Okay, you'll have 3 dice. I'm going to put the little we will pretend there's fight music playing. Yes.
All right. That is 1 success. I've rolled a 2, a 14, 14, and a 19.
Oh, it is such a sad day. That's your defense. And ties, by the way, will go to the player character. And this is Hijo. All right. Is going to, he's not going to do anything too fanatical. He being a stalwart Romulan has a 13 as his attack, and he rolls a 7 and a 12, and I forget what your targets were. Sir?
A target of a 9.
Oh, you rolled 1 success?
Correct.
You had 1. And he has 2. So I believe he is going to, what is called clock you. And he will do some dice of damage. Are you familiar with the stress track? All right, you have a number of points of stress. So he is going to roll 4 dice. And he rolls a 1, a 2, and a 5. And a 4 and a 3. So he only damages you for 4 points. Out of, I believe you have, I think it means you have 12, right? You have 12 stress? It's your security plus your fitness.
Would be 13.
13. Okay, so you have 13 stress. You do fend it off, and now it is your turn to do something with him.
So, as I am taking a spanner across my face, a pleasant feeling though it is, I find myself the opportunity now being close enough to Mr. Hijo to apply a Vulcan neck pinch.
Yes. I forget. Was there mechanics on that?
So, come out of that. You have learned numerous techniques for the simulated
It's very stimulating.
You may use science or medicine instead of security when attempting a nerve pinch attack, and may increase damage by your science or medicine discipline instead of security.
So do you want to science him to death?
Science or medicine. So yes, I want to science him to death.
Okay. So you roll 2 dice, or how do you attack it? He's going to try and defend.
Yeah, we're just gonna go with the box standard 2 die. I have rolled an 8 and a 20.
You really did this, huh? Why do we even try? Ladies and gentlemen, why do we even try? Why do we roll dice? What is the point? You do roll an 8, which is a success, which is literally all you need to hit in hand-to-hand combat. And that is totally acceptable. I believe you do, I forget what your hand-to-hand skill is. Let me bring up your character sheet. Do you remember what do you know what your hand-to-hand punching?
Well, it does say nerve pinch dice 5.
Yes. So yes, because you have a security of 2. All right. So you roll 5 dice, 5d6 for your nerve pinch to see if you can incapacitate it.
We have a 1, a 1, a 3, a 5, and a 6.
6. It is intense, which means that any dice of a 5 or a 6 also generate damage, an additional point of damage, which means you did inflict 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 6 is extra damage. So that's basically you inflicted 5 points of damage, which does mean that he goes down because he's absorbed 5 points of damage in 1 round. And unfortunately, as he goes down, his body falls into a set of controls. This is the equivalent of stabbing yourself with a knife, with a spanner, and he causes a significant problem with the warp core.
Upon realizing I have dispatched Mr. Hijo, I'm going to start analyzing the warp core with my engineering tricorder.
Okay. Flipping back to our 3rd stage guild navigator. Your next move is to navigate to the beacon. There is a big problem. You're in the rift, by the way, so that's good. Now you must navigate to the beacon, and this is something about the notes you don't play. This is con plus intuition and 3. However, science officer or captain, you're at the science station.
I am.
And believe it or not, it also double triples as an engineering monitor. And you're detecting a massive buildup and possibly a core breach, a cascade failure and core breach in progress on the Warbird.
We're
about that.
we've got a problem, everyone. There seems to be a cascade failure. I'm detecting an imminent warp core breach in. How long am I detecting it for? Like how long out?
I figure 6 seconds.
Oh shit.
By the way, hold on just a second. Yes,
that's
it's 6 seconds. Yes.
6. By the time I finish this sentence, we're going to be dead.
You don't need the warp core for this job.
I'm gonna just go ahead. Do I know this, right?
We'll go with 10 because you guys have to talk. But
Gotcha.
Yes.
Do I know that we don't need the warp core for this? Because we don't need warp for any of it.
No, you may not because you didn't do all the calculations that get you into this interesting wormhole.
Got it.
Luckily, you need the warp core for this.
Okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and eject the warp core, and I'm just gonna go ahead and do it.
Okay, let's hope that they have bulkheads down where the engineers are. Remember my brats! All right. The bears! You guys hear, by the way, engineer, you do hear an emergency siren klaxon going off, and since you didn't let them know, Koros say they're rejecting the core. So you guys might want to all leave. I don't know if that's the thing you're interested in doing. I don't know if you're interested in bringing Hijo over or just fuck him.
Illogical.
But basically, it will be daring and it's going to be a daring and security to scramble out of there. Look, this is what you got for skipping leg day, bro.
2 successes.
Yes, you do make it out with a point to spare. Mike is attempting. Okay, how's Koros doing? Koros rolled a complication as well. Well, you make it out. Mike and Koros both failed to do it. A panel during the ejection system was damaged because of combat. We weren't expecting to eject a warp core. A panel which is poorly fused does explode in front of Koros and stops him from getting to the bulkhead. It throws him against the wall. Mike is simply not quick enough to make it out before the bulkheads slam shut, and they are unfortunately exposed to the vacuum of the wound at this point. Where that warp core winds up as it leaves the ship and exits the wound behind you, you will only know about in the future.
I think I have some speculations as to that.
I gotta close some loops, and you guys can roll 20s like nobody's business. I will. So what happened next is now you can navigate to the beacon. I'm going to say that because of the ejection, you can make it. No, let's not pick with you. All right, just con and intuition at 3.
All right. And then do I still does my
You still have the die by,
Okay.
the bonus die part. You still have that. I don't know
Yes.
if that was what you were asking.
And, can I use 2 momentum?
Yes, you may. Well, you use 1 momentum, and then the second die is 2 momentum.
Okay.
So it's 3 altogether.
Yeah, let's do it.
Progress. All right. I'll learn math. Oh, it's so difficult to do
All right.
linear
My
algebra.
target then is 12.
Oh dear, it pays to be well-rounded. This is what the liberal education, the quadrivium and the trivium are all about.
I got a
So
3.
you have a target of 12. You need
a
3
3,
successes. Yes.
a 15, a 17, and an 18.
17 and 18.
Yeah, 15.
Or no, what did I
17,
get? I'm sorry, 3. Well, that's not good. I fear that I fear that you're going to have some issues here. I need fitness and a half rolls from everyone.
Oof.
Everybody needs a point.
Do we all get 2 for this?
You all get
Rounded
2.
down, you said?
Drop fractions.
2 successes.
Yeah, I got 2. Hitting the target is the same
Is
as
a
succeeding.
success,
I
yes.
got 2 successes.
Hitting the target is a good way to succeed.
How
I've
many
often learned
successes
that.
did we need? Okay.
You
I
just
got a
need
10
one.
and a 19.
Okay, well, that's good for you. I guess you can feel proud of yourself. How are you doing, Rock? What's going on?
I got 2 successes.
All right. And how we doing, Stevie? This is your opponent. How's your fitness and a half doing?
Me?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I got 2 successes. That was the first.
Oh, I thought you said. I didn't know you said that. Okay, sorry. Medical officer did not roll a 20. Good. All right, that's all they needed. The Kay slammed into a bulkhead, so she's unconscious now. Kirith is a fucking trooper. All right, he is strapped in. They put seatbelts in these babies. Kirith is requiring is just asking for a status report. The exit the wound. Should I do that's devious? Nothing. Let's just get on with it. It does need to be forced since you blew your last roll. So coming out of there, but it is your strong suit, and it is up to you what you want to do. And what did Gordo do? Because you're sitting on Gordo, are you not?
Bejor?
Rock? Bejor? You're sitting on Gordo, right? You're asleep. Yes, Bejor, you're still sitting on Gordo, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Gordo is going to attempt to take advantage of the disruption. So he's going to try and do a security and daring roll to break free from you. And you're welcome to pound him into paste if you feel like it.
I think I'm going to zap him with my phaser.
Okay. You'll need a control and security roll, and it will cost you 2 successes. It will require 2 successes.
Okay. So I'm sorry, you said command and control?
No, security and control.
Oh, much better. Okay.
Yes. Oh, that's why you got the big. That's why you got the middle-sized bucks, man.
So that's a 13. I rolled. Oh. I rolled an 18 and a 19.
You shot a little wide, sir. Gordo
Reflected
is
back and hit me in the face.
Gordo is going to actually try and body tackle you to get out of the way. He's going to try and wrestle the phaser away from you, essentially. So it's going to come down to a good old-fashioned daring and security. against daring and security.
Okay.
So this is him going. Now, keep in mind that two people that look similar but unlike you both are now going to be in every wide shot.
I do have a focus in hand-to-hand combat, by the way.
That won't come in handy unless you roll a 19.
Okay. So daring and
Security.
security. Okay. All right.
Yeah, you guys are probably in the conference room still. You never said you weren't.
Yeah, I got 2 successes. I got a 5 and an 11.
Okay. Gordo has. Oh! Well, Gordo rolled a 3 and a 20. So he has a complication, and while he was trying to tackle you, he actually dislocates his shoulder on your rock hard abs.
That's right.
So actually, I believe now you can quite quickly and easily subdue him with another daring and security roll.
Yep.
And if you wish, you can afford spend extra dice for pain, or buy extra. You can use momentum later on to inflict pain.
Okay. So I got 1 success. I got a 15
1 success
and an
So-
11. Yeah.
Okay, so you grind it in a little bit, and Gordo is back out of action with a dislocated shoulder, which surprisingly is not your fault. Make a note of that when you talk to the judge advocate.
I'll put it in my report.
He may be filing charges, but he fell into a lot of airlocks.
Well, I got to tell you, all of that, those injuries that he sustained happened just now.
So now to exit the wound.
Okay.
Home again. You need 4
All right,
successes.
4 successes. I've got 3 dice.
Buy all of the momentum. Just use it all. Every
So that'll
last
get me
bit
3
of
more
it.
dice, right?
That'll get you 3 dice.
Oh, you get a total of 3 dice. Now there is a cap of
Okay,
5
so then I
dice no
shall
matter
use
what.
3 momentum because I already get 3 dice. And then
Yes.
I will buy a threat to re-roll one with my con.
Okay, what I'm gonna do is this. We're gonna buy your first die with threat and your second die with momentum. How's that? Does that make sense? Because you're technically buying 2 dice, and we have to figure out which one's more expensive. I don't know if that's legal, folks listening at home. We're just gonna make that a rule because it seems like let him have it. I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to do it. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be all or nothing, but I don't care. All right, so throw
All right,
those babies.
my target
Let's see what
number.
happens.
This was what did we say it was? It was con and con.
Con and con.
All right, so 15 or
Con.
higher,
Simon and Simon.
or 15 or lower is my target number. So I got a 7. I got an 8. I got a 12.
This isn't going in the right
and I got a
direction.
13 and a 14.
Oh, thank jeez.
I don't know who else I have left to attack the players with. Suddenly, a tribble shows up, but it's the size of a woolly mammoth.
Oh no.
Well,
It's just
apparently
going to
if
sit
you
there
give-
and purr you to death. So you do actually exit the wound. You see the Norway before you, and you see a devastated, dead planet still awaiting you in the future. And I will say that is the conclusion of Lieutenant says, "Welcome home, Captain. It's interesting you didn't talk with any of us during the whole mission, but we just thought we'd just leave you to it."
Oh.
We're ready to transport y'all over here when you're ready. I
Uh,
kept that lock on good and tight.
Yes.
Wasn't too fast because my
Thank
car
you,
got
Commander
away.
Grover.
Yeah. Let's. Can you please transport everyone that is not the away team to Cargo Bay 2?
Isn't that the one that's depressurized right now, sir?
Well, Cargo Bay 3 then, because
Oh, 3 it is. Okay, that's where we've got the sleepy mattresses and the marital aids for Beta Sexcellent 6.
Yes.
I think that'll be a great time. The bog
Just
water's
leave
sort of
leave all of that
thanks.
out of your report, please.
It's okay. This is a ship of silence. Ship of trust.
So,
Remember, the safe word is raspberry hydrangea.
so he just beams you guys. He brings the crew over. The CMO is actually requests. She said, "I want to beam me there, and have a medical team and possibly some instruction manuals so these guys can catch up on the latest techniques. And I'll meet you over there." So she's going to transport back with any injured directly to the cargo bay as well.
Perfect.
And there you have it. You have brought home a group of idealistic warriors back home. So, ta-da!
I feel good about this.
Yeah, and apparently because of Atlas here, we're gonna have to go ahead and expand on the lore of Cargo Bay 3.
Yes, what's Cargo Bay 3 at for us?
Yeah, she's saying what happens in Cargo Bay 3 stays in Cargo Bay 3. So now I need to find out what actually happens in Cargo Bay 3.
No, it stays there, Captain. We've got a memory block in there. You walk through that door, it's gone. However, I do being
Was it Crumbs and a Cracker? Who'd you leave on con? Watkins?
Wesks.
However, I still have the tapes. You just don't have to ask how I got them, Captain.
We'll discuss that during your crew evaluation.
I look forward to that immensely. Do you have a Betamax playback unit?
No, we gotta go back to the hole.
I may have something to share.
Yeah, let's go back through the wound. Let's go get our Betamax.
So, thank you, everyone, for this particular story. The face of the enemy has come to, a conclusion. And by your limited imaginations, it appears to be successful.
Yay!
Stay tuned for next week, where the crew conveniently forgets everything that happened and starts on their brand new adventure.
Yeah,
And much in Star Trek fashion.
I'm sure you're really gonna hope the crew forgets what happened last episode.
I think you all go to Cargo Bay 3 and forget to walk out the right way.
Or walk out while.
Walk out, yes.
What's that hanging out there, sir? You got something caught.
At this rate,
Mind your own business.
I am surprised Captain Sykes did not beam me back to Cargo Bay 2.
Well, thanks everybody for watching tonight. If you're new to the channel, please hit that follow button down at the bottom. And if you like the content, we'll be also doing a 5th edition D&D game on Wednesday, 8 to 11 for that game, and then we'll be one step closer to our season finale of Rifts on Thursday at 8:30 to 11:30 Eastern time. So
should we just record you saying the
Everything
season finale of season 1 of Rifts, so that way you can just push a button and save your voice? Because I feel like you keep
also
saying
repeat
that.
it during Aliens once we've passed the season finale and moved on to a different game. I don't know if I'll be able to do this without saying it, but
It's been part of your routine for so long.
but yeah, so tonight we're gonna go ahead and raid. We're gonna raid our Dragon Ball friends that raided us last week during one of our streams. I'm interested in this role-playing game. I don't think I've ever seen it before, but we'll check it out. And we'll see everybody later.
See you guys.
Live long, prosper, peace, long life. Both of them. There you go. We're still here.